So what do we mean by higher values of life? Think of it this way. When we talk about your values, what are we talking about?
It's our belief system.
Beliefs. All right, let's talk about that. So let's stay with beliefs. So you can hold a belief about the world. Let's say money brings happiness. It's a belief about the world. You're making a truth claim. Is it true or not?
To some degree true.
To some degree true,
Yeah.
but also we know that to some degree it's not true. So we can say money brings happiness. It has some truth to it, some accuracy. But if we say money can have a limited effect on happiness, it has a diminishing quality and can cause us to be miserable, that's another truth claim. This one is a more accurate reflection of the reality. Money brings happiness. Okay, it's got some truth to it. Money has a limited and diminishing capacity to make us happy. Let's have a more accurate reflection of the reality. It's a higher truth. It's a higher value. So when we adopt that as a belief, what that means is we are identifying with a higher value. Once we have identified with that higher value, and let's just stay with this example. Once we've identified with that higher value, what happens to our relationship with money? It changes. How does it change?
You're not so attached to money, perhaps.
Yeah, you're not so attached to money.
True.
You're not controlled by it.
Right.
You're no longer controlled by that. You recognize what it can do. You recognize its limitations. And so you treat it properly. You make enough money to take care of the things you need to take care of. And if you want to make enough money to, buy a fabulous mansion and have a car and a boat, by all means do that. There's no taboo on any sort of acquisition. But while you're doing that, money's not really going to make me happy. I do this because it's in my nature. I'm a businessman. I love making money, so I do it. It's like a score for me. But you don't expect it to make you happy. So it no longer enslaves you. It's no longer the master telling you you have to make money. Same thing with relationships. If I get a partner, then I'll be happy. Now we use that quote out of the movie Jerry Maguire. You complete me. All right? Complete nonsense. Another person cannot complete you. Not possible. If we expect another person to be able to complete us, we are guaranteed to be disappointed. Yeah, what a burden you place upon the other person.
Who wants that?
Yeah. It's my job to make you happy all of a sudden. I can't make myself happy, let alone another person. So if we have a correct understanding of what a relationship can bring, yes, it has certain physical benefits, it has emotional benefits, it has material benefits, there are all these security, there's certain benefits that it can bring. And I have my temperament, my personality is such that I need those things. So I enter into a relationship to take care of those natural urges that I have. I don't expect it to deliver more than it can. I don't expect that by being in a relationship now I'm going to be completed. And so when my partner acts in a certain way and when the relationship goes through its natural ups and downs and fluctuations, I'm not affected. So what's important to understand is that what has freed us from being controlled by aspects of the world, what has freed us from being miserable from those changes is our correct understanding. It's just knowledge. We don't spend our time and effort in putting in techniques to relate to the world properly. Tips and tools, life hacks of how to manage that. Forget those. Forget the tools, the tips, the techniques, the life hacks and all that other stuff. The effort should go in acquiring knowledge, and then you don't need them. So the reason that we need all these life tools is because we don't relate properly, and so we need to fix it. We're better off putting ourselves into a situation where we don't need to implement tools. So, let's go back to the example that we gave. You lose your pencil. You don't have to implement any life tools to deal with that situation because it's so easy for you. It's child's play. When we grow in this knowledge, everything becomes like that. Everything becomes child's play. Now, having said that, having dismissed life tools, etc., out of hand, we shouldn't dismiss them out of hand. Apply them to make your passage through life more smooth, more effective, etc. But don't rely on them. Use them like a crutch. How do you use a crutch? When you need it, as a temporary measure, until the bone has healed, and then you throw it away. So if you have life hacks that you use, by all means use them, but recognise them as what they are. Temporary measures that I need to help myself relate until I get to a point where I don't need them anymore. So it's just knowledge, that's all it is. That's why he says, education. The principle of education distinguishes the human being from the animal.